Hey Rockstars, Troy Dean here from Rockstar Empires, and I'm down here in Geelong in Victoria, which is about 90 kilometres west of Melbourne, and I'm in an office space of a buddy of mine, Michael McHenry. This is a company called Superannuation Advisors Australia, and what Mike does is he does audits of self-managed super funds for accounting firms. About a month ago, I came down here to spend the day with Mike, and he wanted to show me around the offices that he's built here. He's got pool tables and a golf simulator and table tennis tables, and he's built a great team, got a great culture, and he's really passionate about culture. So I came down to spend some time with him because I wanted to ask him and pick his brain about what it means to build a team and how he builds a culture and how he's become a leader and how he gets his team to buy into his vision. And he wanted to pick my brain a little bit about processes and marketing automation and some of the tools that we use. So we thought, you know what the hell? Let's get together and do this once a month, and let's bring the cameras and the microphones and film it so that we can remember it, and then we'll post it up online, and hopefully you guys watching this will be able to learn something from us as well, and hopefully you'll find it helpful, and if not, you'll get to see us play some 8-ball and some golf and have some fun, and hopefully it might be entertaining for you for 5 or 10 minutes at the most. So anyway, without further ado, I hope wherever you are watching this video that you get something out of this. We'd love to hear your comments and hear what you want to learn about next. So without further ado, let's go and meet my friend Mike McHenry.
The other important thing we've been doing with every staff member here is I pay for an online profile. Now, what's the benefit of that? Wow.
You're telling me about this. This is the DISC profile, right?
Correct.
DISC.
It gives a 47-page report
Yeah.
on them.
Yeah.
Now, so you'll have a view of me, of my personality type, right? And
Yeah.
I'll have a view of yours.
Yeah.
But the downside with that, it's just my view.
What's your view of mine?
Well,
tell me later.
Not a bad bloke. So the thing is, I'll have a view and you'll have a view, right? But the downside with that is it's actually my view of you, and you're going, well, I don't agree with that. You know, or you bang on. You said I'm like Hollywood and I'm a ripping lad, right? The downside with that is, if someone needs to have a talking to, we need to have a conversation about behaviours or their meeting a value system, or what their strength is and where they're likely to prosper as the business develops. Hang on, they're not this type of person, that type of person. So they're better at technical and training as opposed to management, or as opposed to big picture CEO. But everyone might think, oh, but I want to be a CEO. Now, how do you have that conversation, right? Well, but that's my perception, Troy, of you. I don't think you're the CEO type, even though you want to be that. So that's an awkward conversation. So what this profiling does is, you answer the questions online. They're your answers and responses to a series of questions that spits out your report that tells you about you.
Right.
And then when you read it, it is that accurate. Everyone here has nearly fallen off their chair.
Wow.
What that does for me is that it then gives us a discussion point to talk about the yin and the yang. This is really positive, but the downside of being that way, because your strengths are your weaknesses and your weaknesses are your strengths, but you can have an open conversation about it. So when the weakness pops up, you can have that chat, because it was your profile that you did. I'm not telling you anything, because it was your profile that you did. I didn't do your profile.
I'm not imposing it on you.
No. And you agreed that that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Wow, does that open up another conversation? Then what we do, then we sit in beanbags in the simulator room, and everyone reads out their 2-page summary, and I always start with me.
Wow.
I always start saying, Mike is a legend. That's not what it says. But I start with, because it's about being vulnerable and sharing. This is what my profile came out as. Now my strengths sound great, but they also have some weaknesses, and I'm going to put that on the table for everyone to hear, because it gives them a perspective of how to communicate with me and how not to communicate with me because of my profile. Because I'm very strong dominant, and I'm very strong on the social influence side. When people gibber on about technical, I just switch off. I start to glaze over. I just need bullet points. Give me bullet points, because I'm going. I'm like that, right? Whereas other people, they want lots of detail, and they want to sit and loiter on it, because that's the technical part that really stimulates them, right? So everyone does that. We all sit in a circle and talk through it, and everyone just cracks up. And when they're reading their own profiles, people just go, wow, like that is you, big time. So it starts a conversation, everyone gets to understand each other, and it's all about that caring and sharing and knowing what puts people in an awkward and vulnerable position, and to try to help them avoid being in that position and give them a chop out, you know. If someone's made a mistake, their profile would say, look, this is how you'd approach that, because they're going to be embarrassed, or they're not going to know how to, they're going to retreat, or they're going to concede. They might have a different view, but they're just going to go with the status quo because they're not confrontational.
Yeah.
And so the downside with that is, but you might have a great idea that we all need to know, but you're not going to share it because you feel like you're having a confrontation.
Yeah.
So when we have these discussions about innovation and being brave and what ideas have we got, like that think tank you were talking about, what was it, that dream, you know, those people, they can be in that and they can be heard.
Yeah.
And, you've got to create an environment where they can be heard. They won't speak otherwise.
Yeah.
Because they'll just go with that. They don't want to throw something in the mix that could be debated, because they don't want to be that person. They just want to concede and be everyone's friend.
Yeah.
That's who they are. You know, they haven't got that dominant side to them to go, no, but I'm really going to make a stand for this view.
Yeah.
What do you think? And thrash it around and be robust. That's not them. So suddenly you're getting a really clear picture of how the culture can be maintained and what they like, and these guys, they take bullets for each other. It is unbelievable. Like, because they're breeding their own teammates, and they're accountable to their teammates. I'm not employing them, you know, off the street and not giving them a say. They have a say, then we profile them, and then I sit down with the person and discuss their profile and are they a fit or not. And there's one person who wasn't a fit, great person, but just wasn't a fit. Their profile just didn't fit. And we're desperate, we're short-staffed, but I'd rather be short-staffed and everyone work extra hours, or we have to cut off the marketing, than to compromise the culture. We can't compromise the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's brave.
Yeah, and that's being brave, but they all get that, and that was the conversation, exactly with that. That's the conversation we had. So look, this is what we've done. It was an awkward conversation with that person. I hadn't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
Has got some amazing strengths, but just I didn't have the resources to support him with it, and I just shared that with him. I just don't have the resources to support you because you need support in this. If we were a lot bigger with a big HR division, you could get support and you'd be unbelievable. I reckon you need to come and see me in 10 years when we're big, and I need someone to drop in that can really run something with some real gusto. But now all it would do, it would upset and fracture what we've created, and it's the wrong timing.
But because you know what the culture looks like and you're very clear about that and you're not willing to compromise it, then the decision becomes quite easy. The execution might be awkward, but the decision's quite easy. You don't have to labour it for very long, do you?
No. And look, it was 2 weeks. We had a bit of a look. He was doing great work. It was terrific. There's no downside in terms of any of that. The skill was fine. But it ain't about skill. We don't employ based on skill.
That's right.
Hopefully my systems and processes, what you love, I love, you know, hopefully those sorts of things, the systems and processes, will train the skill. I should be able to get someone off the street who has no experience in what we do, and they should be able to start at A and work their way to Z, and it should be able to show them how to do it. That's the real test. So my only focus is culture. My only focus is their will, their passion, their desire, you know. And that's how it has to be.